Hello everybody, welcome to my channel. My name is Jessica. One of the biggest things that holds us back from going natural is the fear of looking old. We have been conditioned to associate gray hair with being old. That was the old way of thinking. It's not like that anymore. Times have changed. I sometimes see young men and women getting their hair dyed gray. Gray is trendy. It's in, and people are paying big bucks to get hair color like ours. So the good news is gray will not make you look old. The bad news is there are things that we do and don't do that makes us look old. And that is what we're going to talk about today. But these are things that I have done or that I've noticed in other people when I've been out that makes them look older, and so that's why I wanted to talk about these specific things, but there are many other things. So if there is something that I did not mention in here that you know is aging, just post a comment about it down at the bottom so that way we can kind of build up on the list. But one thing that many of us don't do enough of is drink enough water. And when you don't drink enough water, you become dehydrated. And when you're dehydrated, it dries out your skin. You begin to develop fine lines, wrinkles, and even dark under eye circles, which is very, very aging. Dry, flaky skin magnifies fine lines and wrinkles. What I like to do is I fill my water bottle up with water early in the morning and I carry it around with me. And I just sip on my water throughout the day and I refill as needed. And that's how I make sure that I'm drinking enough water. So I'm going to show you the water bottle I use. I know I'm going to have this with me all day. It's big, it's bright, it's hard to lose, it's hard to misplace, so I always have it by my side. And there is always water in my water bottle. So drink plenty of water to keep your skin hydrated, which is going to keep your skin looking young and plump and fresh looking. Another thing that ages you is not properly taking care of your skin, which can make you look way older than you really are. Overwashing can strip your skin from natural oils, which makes your skin look dull and drab. And underwashing can cause your skin to become greasy and it can clog up, your pores get clogged and you start breaking out. So you have to find that perfect balance, and it really depends on your skin type. I have very, very dry skin, so I can't wash my skin all the time. So what I do is I will wash my face early in the morning when I wake up, and then I wash it again right before bed. And to keep my skin hydrated, I apply a moisturizer. I like to use a CeraVe moisturizing lotion. So here's the one that I use, the daily moisturizing lotion. It is very, very lightweight, and it keeps my skin really, really soft. I really like this brand. I'm prone to breaking out, and anything that I would apply to my skin would cause my skin to break out, and my skin will not break out with this. So I really like this brand. It's really great to use to keep your skin nice and soft. In order to get rid of dry, flaky patches of skin, you need to exfoliate. When you exfoliate, it removes the layer of dead skin cells that are on the surface of your skin. Removing the layer of dead skin cells along with dirt will keep your skin soft, smooth, and bright. I like to use peels to keep my skin looking young and fresh. I used to go to an esthetician to get chemical peels because my skin was so bad. It was so expensive and so time consuming, and I have to schedule time out of my day to go in and get it done, and I just didn't have the time, and I didn't really want to spend that much money on chemical peels. So I decided that why not do it on my own? So I did my research and I found a really great company called Makeup Artist Choice. They sell chemical peels along with other skincare products, and I've been using them for over 10 years. I think it's actually maybe about 11 years since I've been buying my chemical peels from that company. And I do the chemical peels on myself now. It's really easy. So if you have never gotten a chemical peel before and you want to do one at home, you always do a patch test, get the lowest strength that's available, and stick with that for a year and see how that works. And if you do start doing chemical peels, or you're doing chemical peels at home, make sure that you don't do it too often, because if you get too many chemical peels, your skin starts to look like papery, like really thin. It gets very thin and it has that really wrinkly, papery look. So you don't want to overdo it with the peels. I will give myself a TCA peel twice a year. And let me show you what I get. So I get this pH prep solution, and that's just to get all the dirt and anything that's on my skin off before I do the chemical peel. And then I do a TCA peel. And like I said, I got this from Makeup Artist Choice. I really love their peels. And this one is 18%, which is pretty strong. So you want to definitely get their starting strength. And I won't do it more than twice a year because I don't want to thin out my skin and make it look older. When you do a TCA peel, your skin will peel, and it takes about 2 weeks for your skin to completely finish healing. So normally when I give myself a peel, at least this one, this is a little bit of a higher strength, it's 18%. I don't recommend that you start with that. This one, I'll put it on, I'll apply it, and I'm okay for about 5 days, and then my skin will start to peel on day 6 or 7. And then it'll stay like that. It'll be peeling for another 5-6 days. This is something that you use when you have time off and you don't want people to see your skin peeling. I really don't care if my skin is flaking all over and I'm out in public. It doesn't bother me, but if you're concerned about that, you definitely need to do it when you are not going to go out in public. I also do glycolic acid peels. So let me show you the one I use. This one is much lighter than a TCA peel. I'll do 1 peel a week for 4 weeks, and then I'll let my skin rest. So I don't do too many of these, but these are what I use just to get rid of all the dead skin cells. Another thing that many of us don't do enough of is apply sunscreen to our face. The sun, as we all know, can cause premature aging, hyperpigmentation, sunspots, age spots. So you really want to protect your skin from the sun by applying a really good sunscreen. I use a CeraVe sunscreen. Oh, here it is. So this one is a hydrating mineral sunscreen. So you want to get at least 30 SPF sunscreen, or you can go up higher. This one is 30. And it's very, very lightweight. It's got some color to it. It has a tint. And when I first tried this, I was a little worried because it really is dark. But let's see. I'm going to put it on my arm so you can kind of see. Let me get up so you can see. There's some color, but when you blend it in, it'll start to blend it in with your skin. I put too much. But so if you're very light skinned or your skin is darker, it's going to it'll blend into your skin. So there you go. I really love this stuff. It's not greasy, it's very lightweight. I love this brand. So always apply your sunscreen, always moisturize, exfoliate. I really don't like to overdo it with the chemical peels, so I use something else to help with the sunspots, which works really great. I love it. My sister-in-law introduced me to it, and I just love it. So I use this. It's called Crema Blanca. Let me show you what it looks like. It comes in this little bottle. I had this really bad stain on my forehead, and I had already done my chemical peel, so I did not want to do another one. And my sister-in-law mentioned that she had this cream, so I bought a bottle to give it a try, and it worked really well. So it's just a little white cream. And I like to just do spot treatments. I won't put it all over my face. So this one has hydroquinone in it. So if you have really sensitive skin, it could irritate your skin, and you don't want to overuse this either, but you have to be consistent with it. So when I started using it, it took 8 weeks to mostly get rid of my stain on my forehead. I stopped using it because my mom had several spots on her face and she was feeling pretty bad about it, so I told her about the bottle that I had. So I took my bottle to her and gave it to her. So I didn't use it long enough to completely get rid of the stain on my forehead. And I really thought it was going to come back, and I didn't reorder right away. And I was really worried that the stain was going to come back. And I waited several months and it did not come back. I ended up ordering another bottle because I did not want even that little light stain there. And it worked. So you have to be consistent. Using it once or twice or even 3-4 times is not going to help. It's going to take a month or two, depending on how bad your staining is. It might take a little longer too. I don't know. Mine, like I said, took 8 weeks to get rid of most of it, and then there was a faint stain left, and it took another couple of weeks once I started using it again to completely get rid of it. So this stuff works wonders, but you have to be consistent. So this is what I use to get rid of my sunspots, or what, I don't know what they're called, the stains that I have in my face. And I really recommend this. This is wonderful. And you know, those age spots, that's what they call them, age spots, right? The sunspots, hyperpigmentation, those stains on your face, they're called age spots because it ages you. It makes you look older. And this gets rid of it. If you use anything with hydroquinone or that lotion there, that cream there, you should always apply sunscreen to your face to protect your skin from getting burned. Because that spot, if you've been putting the cream on that spot and you go out into the sun, it's going to make that spot darker. So protect your skin with sunscreen so that way there's no change in the stain. It protects your skin from getting darker. So always use your sunscreen, and like I said, I use that CeraVe sunscreen, which is really lightweight, doesn't feel greasy. I love it. It's great. It's wonderful. Another thing that ages us is smoking. Smoking causes major skin damage. And you end up with premature wrinkles. Your skin starts to take on like a really rough texture. And even the color of your skin changes. It kind of has that yellowish staining from the cigarettes. All aging. And it's just not good for your skin, and it stains your hair. So if you have gray hair and you're smoking, it also gives you that yellow tint. So not only does smoking damage your skin, but it also stains your teeth. And stained teeth is aging. I don't smoke, but I drink tea and I sometimes drink coffee, so that can cause staining. So what I like to use is this toothpaste. It's the Optic White Advanced toothpaste from Colgate, and that helps keep my teeth white. Whenever I run out of my toothpaste and I don't buy it right away, my teeth start to turn yellow because of all the tea. I drink tons of tea, and it does make me look older. So this is what helps keep my teeth white. I don't like to go to the dentist because first of all, it's expensive to get a teeth whitening procedure, and it also kind of looks like too white. Like this is like this gives me a good shade of white. Like it's not like bright white where it's blinding. It's just a nice shade of white. You go to the dentist, it's just blinding. It's just too much for me. So I like this stuff. Let's talk about thin eyebrows. That really ages you. That was one of my biggest issues, was the thin eyebrows. I suffer from thyroid issues. So my eyebrows at the ends were starting to get really thin. So what I started to do was tweeze all the hair to match up with the little thin area at the end. So I had this little skinny eyebrows. It just didn't balance out with my face. It just didn't look right. And it also looked like I was stuck in the 90s, right? Because I think that's when they were back in the 90s. So I finally decided to let my eyebrows grow out, and I'm so glad I did. They look so much better. You don't want your eyebrows to be thick and bushy, but you don't want them to be as thin as I had them. Thin eyebrows, very aging, don't do it. And makeup is another thing that makes us look older if you don't apply it on right. Makeup is not my specialty. I'm not good at applying makeup at all. I never have been. I probably never will be, which is why I don't use very much makeup. I don't put anything on my skin other than my tinted sunscreen because I always overdo it. I just don't know how to balance it out. Thick foundations, heavy eyeliner, dark lipsticks will make you look older. If you overdo it, it's gonna highlight those fine lines and all those wrinkles that we're trying to hide. Especially like with the foundation. I've seen people who put so much on and it starts to build up inside the wrinkles. And even though the person does not have too many wrinkles, it makes them look deeper. So you have to be careful with how much foundation you're putting on. Once you start to go gray, you are most likely going to have to kind of adjust your makeup. You're gonna have to change the colors that you use, and most likely you are going to have to wear lighter colors. I used to like to wear darker eyeshadows, not too dark. I used to wear like a dark brown eyeshadow and I can't wear that anymore. So now I use a very light, neutral colors, but dark colors just stand out more and it brings attention to the crow's feet and my fine lines. So we're going to have to lighten up on the makeup. You will have to experiment and find the right colors that complement your skin tone. So now let's talk about hair. Haircuts and hairstyles. When they say short haircuts or long hair is not for people with gray hair, that is so wrong. It just depends on your hair type. I've seen ladies who are older than me with pixie haircuts and long hair, and because of their face shape, it looks gorgeous and they look younger. They look younger than they really are because of their haircut. And they're gray. They have gray hair. They have the perfect cut for them, and so it works for them. So long hair, super short hair is not going to age you. It's really just what works best for your face type. For those of you who still dye your hair, well, hair dye also is very aging. So just because you dye your hair doesn't mean that you're going to look younger. It just means you have darker hair where you don't have any grays showing, or you have the blonde hair that you've always wanted. So it's not going to make you look younger. Choosing the wrong shade of hair dye may be too harsh for your face. That was my problem. When I started dyeing my hair years ago, it was a really nice light brown. But as my hair started to turn gray, I was having to leave the hair dye on my hair for up to 30 minutes. And the longer that you leave hair dye on your hair, it gets darker. So I would end up with like almost black hair, and that was just not good for my skin tone. It made me look washed out, and it magnified all the little fine lines that I was getting. So dyeing your hair is not going to make you look younger like we all think it's going to make us look younger. Sometimes it just doesn't. It doesn't work with our skin tone. Thankfully, our natural hair color complements our skin tone. So that is something that you will not have to worry about if you've gone natural. Mother Nature will take care of that part for us. So natural hair color is going to work with your skin tone. Another thing is the clothing that we wear. If you're wearing outdated trends, that's going to age you. If you're wearing big, frumpy clothing, which I like to wear at home, that hides your shape, that is also very aging. It just makes you look older. So hopefully I answered your question about gray hair and looking old. The short answer is no, it's not going to make you look old. It's all the other things that we do that make us look old. So hopefully you'll feel more comfortable about transitioning to gray hair. And if you've already transitioned, well, now you know what you need to change or do to not look older. So thank you so much for watching. Thank you for joining me. If you have not subscribed, please subscribe to my channel. And I hope to see you in my next video. Bye.